Good morning, everybody. It's Gina. And I apparently am in a better mood than I was on Tuesday. I'm very sorry about my temper tantrum. I'm very sorry to most people about my temper tantrum. But unfortunately, some people don't even care that they hurt my feelings or care that I'm disappointed in them. They don't care. So, whatever. It is, it is. It is what it is. I am on my way to pay my car payment, actually, and head to work. Year-end stuff at a church is so taxing. Literally, pun intended, because it's all about the taxes for everybody that goes there. And then just people that maybe don't go there but send donations in for our food bank or one of our ministries or whatever. I've done this job for 13 years, and I've done it exactly the same way. A couple of years in there, I've picked something different and did some off the wall thing, and I go back to this same plan that I've done forever. But there's just something not easy about it. There's got to be a better... Now, granted, if I was a really big person on spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff, you know, maybe the Gina could be better at it. But I'm not. I ran a bank. We had a software system that we used, and that's what I did. I ran a bank. I didn't really have to I'm not a computer programmer, so I can't make up a program. I've tried, and none of them work. So I'm actually taking a Excel class, 2-day class in March. And I'm excited about that. Pastor is like, yeah, take it. Go ahead. Anything that's going to make it better. He's always been very open to that. Very open to any kind of schooling that I wanted to take or anything like that. But there has got to be, I mean, I am literally still old school. Like, got their totals in a box, alphabetical. Because the Gina is not a computer programmer, and when I got there, there was not one thing put in place. I mean, there wasn't even protection for myself put in place. It was the girl that was there before me. She was, oh, don't worry about that. It never balances anyways. Well, I'm like, heck yeah, it's going to balance. I'm not being responsible for other people's money. No. So I put a whole bunch of T's and I's in place. Because that just wasn't cool for me to have to be responsible for all those donations when, you know, it wasn't pre-counted or things like that. I am rambling, and I know it, but I'm driving, and I really don't know exactly what vlogging is all about. I'm just telling you about my life. But there's that. So that's what Gina's doing this week at work, and I wanted to be done. And I'm only on the H's. No, I have till the end of the month for everybody to get their tax stuff. But I like to be done. Get it over with and start on the new year, because everything is piling up for the new year, because those boxes that I put everything in, yeah, they're still being used. So everything that's happened for the past 2 weeks is just piling up. And then there was the whole tantrum I played on Tuesday. Which I appreciate you all indulging me in my tantrum. Not that, you know, whatever. I could totally see both sides of the story. I absolutely can. But it's just one of those inconsiderate, unthoughtful, actually probably was well thought out and chose not to tell me type situations. And it just set me off. My boss, he's so funny. If you follow me on Facebook, you already know this, but I put a little thing on Facebook saying, basically, how can a day that started out so good turn out so bad so quickly? And please pray for the Gina, something like that. And please pray for my temper, that my mouth doesn't get the best of me. Well, I typed in wrong, and my pastor types in way later in the day. I mean, I had looked at it I was mad that day, so I probably looked at everybody's comments. So I probably looked at it at least 20 times and didn't read what I had typed because I was still mad. So so he writes on there, "I'm not praying for your tempter. He's bound for the pit." I about lost it. I was in my room by myself cracking up when I seen it. And then later my sister comments back to my pastor, which is our cousin, but she comments back, "Oh, I read it. It just made me so mad someone didn't know how to spell temper that I didn't correct her," because her comment was, "I'm having trouble with my temperament today too." And she has a really, really demanding job. So I don't really know if it was personal or what. I was so mad that day I didn't ask my sister, "Well, what's wrong with you?" I didn't even ask. I still don't know. But I was so angry that I just didn't even realize all those times that I read it that I had spelled temper as tempter. And he was all, "Heck no." It was so funny. Oh, so he came and sat in my desk yesterday, and I was like, "Thank you so much for that laugh, because the Gina needed it." And he was like, "I am not praying for him. Let me just be clear about the matter." It was funny. All right, I'm here at the bank. I'm going to head in. I'll be back. So, I'm leaving the teller station, and I dropped my phone. I mean, it flew hard on the ground. Toppled all over. Yeah, it didn't break. And I don't even have a good case on it because I keep taking it in and out of this container. This is literally the case I'm using. I mean, it's just thin, flimsy, bendable. It didn't shatter. I can't hardly believe it didn't shatter. So right next to my bank is a Starbucks, and there's cops surrounding the Starbucks, which is never a good sign next to a bank, but been down that road. Been down that road. Oh my Lord. I don't know if I've ever told you all about my bank robberies, but the last one did the Gina in. But I'm gonna see if I can turn you around. See if we can see the cops. Hold on. They're gone. So anyways, I'll tell you a funny bank robbery story, if there can be funny ones. So I was at the last branch that I worked at, and I had a new little teller. I think she'd only been a teller for maybe 3 months or so. She was probably close to my age. I would say she wasn't younger than me, and I was probably in my 30s at the time. So she wasn't a teeny bopper. Well, so the guy comes in and goes up, and as he's walking up, he pulls up his shirt and shows that he has a gun in the front of his pants pocket. And so our manager, the bank manager, happened to be there at the time that it happened, and he was sitting at the desk across from me. So when the guy turns around to leave, he literally looks at the manager, the man, and not that it couldn't have been a woman, many of them are, but I'm just saying ours at the time was a man, and fans the money at him and laughs and rolls on out. And And he pops up and he said, "Did you just get robbed?" And she was, well, we're trained, buddy. We are trained. They instill us in it. Let them have what they have. Lock the doors. Get them out. Lock the doors. No, not this guy. He was so mad that we had just got robbed with him sitting here in the building. He went out running after him, chased the sucker down. The guy robbed us on a bicycle. So funny. Yeah, he went out rolling out after him. He was like, that ain't gonna happen. So that is actually a funny bank story, but that is a no. You don't do that. You do not go running after the robbers. You lock the door, you protect the people, and the money is insured. That's just the way it is. But she left. She didn't come back, sadly. And I understand that now. On my 4th bank robbery, I didn't go back either. 4th. It was actually the only one that I personally had ever been robbed. Like, it was actually me. It was actually my little teller that next to me, one of my tellers. But for whatever reason, that particular day, I opened a can. I don't know if we was shorthanded or what. I really don't remember now. But I, thank God, had a can open, because the robber was not nice at all, and he was, oh, that's a really hard way to put that. Okay, I'll just say he was really, really, really good looking. Like, really good looking. And so as he was coming in, me and my assistant was all, I get him, because we both thought he was a new account. And we were just being ornery, silly. Well, he didn't come to us. He went straight up to a teller window, of course. And so right as he was walking up, I went right behind him and went behind the teller line and was standing there. And then right at that moment, my sister walked in. And so, long story short, my sister was the only customer in the building, and it wasn't pretty. And I had a 14-year-old son, and I just let the enemy just completely bumfuzzle me out of my whole life for a good 3 years. I was like, nah. I was scared. I was scared of a certain type of looking person. If I saw one that looked anything like them, I started panicking. Was it him? Was it not him? Whatever. And I had the good looking one. My sister and my assistant, they did not have the good looking one, but he had a foul mouth. Well, me, I don't know anything about anything other than God. But I was like, oh, dear Lord Jesus, please don't let his mama know what he is doing. Please don't let his mama know what he is doing. Because you could just tell he was not raised that way. And he was like, lady, you need to just shut up. You need to just shut up and, do your business. Give me what I want. Well, I could help, that's what I know, and that's what I did. And so anyways, I don't know, that was a horrible, so much more to that story, robbery. It was my last. I went to work one day after that, about maybe 5 or 6 months later, 4 or 5 months later maybe, one day to a different branch, and I was like, I gotta go, not ready for this. And it wasn't the robbery, it really wasn't, because this was the 4th one. I mean, it wasn't like new to me. It was that I let the enemy completely just mess with my head, where I felt responsible for my sister, which of course is the truth. I technically was. And I didn't want to put my family back in that situation, because just not even 3 minutes prior to it happening, my cousin and her brand new little baby had just left the building, and We live in a really small town. Lots of family and friends go in there, and I just let him just mess with my life, and I've never went back into banking. I would absolutely now it's like, whatever, I'm good. But I also don't have a 14-year-old teenager at the house who just started high school, who needed his mom, who I had just maybe the year before quit that same job, and they were like, well, why are you quitting? What is going on? Like, whatever. And I said, I just feel like I need to quit. And I mean, I had battled it, and finally I decided I'm going to quit. And so I had quit, and I walked in. Well, actually, my boss came to my branch and sat down, and so I quit in my own office. But ultimately, they were like, no, what would it take for you to stay? And I was like, well, I'm going to take him to school, and I'm going to go pick him up. I don't want him coming home to an empty house. We live in we lived in the town that I work in right now. Kind of in we had some land, but it was the town. He would have rode his bike right through town with all the other hoodlums. And I just didn't want him that free, have that much freedom until, 5:30 when I got home. I was like, no, I need to get here at 8:30, and I need to leave by 2:30 so I could pick him up, because we didn't even send him to school in that general area. We sent him to a different school, a town or two over, because we didn't want him where we live. I love the town, but the older we got, the worse the town got. And you still can't help but love the town. You've been raised here, that's all you know. Your church is here, your friends are here, your family's here. But I did not want my kid raised in this school system, having that much freedom, sitting home with these people alone. And thank God I did, because him and two of his little cousins, they were like the Three Musketeers, and they lived less than 2 blocks apart, and they had a lot more freedom because both of their parents worked. And not laying any blame on the parents, anyone can go anyway. It's what you choose in life, and I know that. However, I just feel that those boys were at my house a lot. I think I saved them from a lot. And ultimately, both boys have led down a really, really wrong path. I'm just grateful. So much so that one of the youngest boy they came for a visit, him and his girlfriend and his new baby. And they came to town for a visit. They live in Arkansas. And so the girlfriend was staying at the grandma's. I might have told this part of the story before. Staying at the grandma's, and had been to the cousin's house and the aunts and uncle's house. Well, they went to Drew's house, and finally the girlfriend looks over at my little Sam, and she says, what happened to you? I got the raw end of this deal, or something of that nature. I wasn't there. My son told me. And he was like, what? And she goes, what's up with this? Everybody's got their lives together. Look, everybody has nice homes and cars and stuff. And she was like, what happened to you and your brother, And I feel bad in that sense that they've, chosen to go down that road. But I appreciate that Drew did not choose to go down that road. And I honestly attribute a lot of that to not having so much freedom in high school, because believe me, now that he's an adult, he shared many, many, many things that he did that I'm like, you did what? You did what? And even with so much more structured protection, they still do stupid stuff. He took my car. I had a little bug. He took my car one day at school, and they took the cafeteria trays and put them under the wheels, and they went skidding around in the parking lot in my brand new car. Well, maybe been a year or so old by then, but I'm telling you, kids are rotten. Now, we've all done stupid, rotten stuff, but he chose not to go down a path like that, and I appreciate that. But anyways, okay, so I'm here at work now. I'm gonna work and go home and start sewing, because I need to finish a quilt, and I need to fix a couple of things that need mending, and maybe start crocheting. I'm going to start making some crochet videos, I think, this weekend. Depends on my eye. We'll see how it goes. It depends on how tired I am after I work all day on this. I'm going to go. Talk to you later. Bye.